Hey allihopa! Today I'm going to do a video review of my Bugaboo Donkey 2 double stroller. Oh my gosh! I don't want to tell you how many times I had to refilm that short little intro just to get all the words right. I'm going to try in this video to not talk too much about how every aspect of the stroller and how it works and what it looks like and how everything how you do things with it, because obviously Bugaboo has lots of good videos on how, you know, how to fold it together and how to put the different parts on and stuff. So I'm just gonna try and focus on my thoughts of the stroller or about the stroller and what works and what doesn't work as well, at least for our family. I'm sorry about the boring background, but this is the room with the best lighting right now, so this is where I'm gonna film. Okay, let's get into the review. So here is what the stroller looks like. I'm gonna try and just interlace this video with some shots of the stroller in different environments and from different angles and with different configurations, because one of the big things with this stroller is that you can use it in many different ways, with two older kids, with one young and one older. If you buy the stroller with two, I can't remember what it's called now, but with two baby carry cots, is that the word? Whatever. If I have the wrong word, I'll put the right one at the bottom of the screen. But if you buy the stroller with two of those, you can obviously have two small babies if you get twins. And then there is this very convenient little writing thing that you can put behind the stroller. Obviously I should have looked up all the words for all of these things. I only know them in Swedish, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's what text at the bottom of the screen is for. So that's also been very convenient for us to use. You can switch or move the seats so that they face you or so that they face forward. So I just feel like there's a lot of variation with the stroller, which was one of the big reasons that I wanted to buy it. Also, if you only have one seat, which is usually what we do right now, you can have this little bag thing next to the seat, which is so convenient when you have to bring lots of things. And I mean, when you have three kids, if you haven't seen me before, hi, I'm Alexandra, and I have a 6-year-old, a 2.5-year-old, and a 2-month-old. So I have three kids. You have to bring quite a few things with you pretty much wherever you go. I think last week or the week before, I filmed a video of what I had in my bag at that time. I just kind of grabbed the bag and started filming. So I'll link that in the card and in the description below. And I can hear my baby getting sad, so I'm gonna go get her. Okay, so on my phone, I have written down a list throughout the weeks that I've used the stroller of pros and cons, I guess you could say, with the stroller. And I should say beforehand that I have had the stroller for maybe 4-ish months. First I had it with just one kid, and then for the past 2 months I've used it with this little one, Myranda, and also with Theo. And of course I have my 6-year-old too, but he doesn't really use the stroller other than just storing his stuff in it. So I think I'll just go through my list like every other thing, so that I don't have to list all of the cons one after another, because that's kind of boring. So we'll start with a pro of the stroller, a good thing, and that is that it's so easy to push and move around, just getting up onto pavements, onto buses, on trains and everything like that, which is very important for me because I don't have a car. My husband does have a car, so we sometimes bring the stroller in there, but most of the time I need to be able to go on public transportation and on long walks. And so far, I mean, I've only used it in spring and summer and just starting fall right now, but so far it's worked out very well. I also like that the tires or the wheels are, what are they? Foam-filled tires, so they don't have air in them, which is good because that way you don't have to deal with the hassle of filling them up with air again and everything. And it's also just the fact that the front, or actually it's at the back, whatever, the two of the wheels are movable, they can switch back and forth. Again, I don't really know the words, but whatever. That's also very convenient when you're just trying to move around a small space or just basically all the time. I think that's a very good feature, and I don't think I could have a stroller without that feature. I think it's, for me at least, it's just a must. Okay, now for one of the cons, and I have to say pretty much all of my cons that I've written down are just small things. There's nothing major that would make me not buy the stroller again or that I just cannot handle. It's just small things. But the first thing is that the little clasps that you have to open or close when you're making the stroller wider or narrower, they are very easy for my kids to open. And I think that a lot of these cons are actually because my kids are rambunctious and crazy, but I'm still gonna list them because that's what I've found with the stroller that frustrates me. And that's the first thing, that they can open them very easily, and it's just frustrating for me, I guess that's like the bottom line of it. Something very good about the stroller that I haven't really had to utilize yet, but I know that I will eventually, is that all of the fabrics you can remove and clean them. I'm actually not sure if you can put them in the washing machine, but you can definitely like wash them, and that is very good. I mean, kids puke and poop and just wear and tear every day can make a stroller look really dingy, is that the word? So the fact that you can actually wash all of the fabrics on the entire stroller is amazing. The next thing that is kind of frustrating for me, but it's not a big thing again, is that when you use the bigger seat, like for a bigger kid that they can sit in, it does have a bar that goes across, like across the tummy, so they won't fall out. But I wish that it also had like a I guess you could call it like a crotch strap or whatever that goes from like the seat up to the thing, just to again kind of help them not fall out of the stroller, or most of the time just crawl out of the stroller. Of course it does have a harness, and I use that sometime, but with a bigger kid you usually don't need the harness. It would just be a nice added feature that I wish it had, kind of. The stroller, however, has lots and lots of storage, which is, like I said at the beginning, very important. Even when you have just one kid, you want lots of things with you some of the time, and if you go grocery shopping with the stroller, it's good to be able to put all of the groceries in the stroller so you don't have to like carry bags and stuff. And of course, especially when you use the storage on the side, it can store lots and lots of things. Which I think is a very, very good thing about the stroller, that I think now that I have used the stroller, I don't think I could switch back to one without all of that storage. Of course I could, but I definitely don't want to. Okay, now for my next annoyance with this stroller, and I don't understand it. The hood or hoods on the seats, they come off so easily. I mean, it's very easy to put them on, and that's a good thing, but that also means that they come off very easily, and it's not really a big problem for me anymore. But the first few weeks that we used the stroller, Theo, my 2.5-year-old, he would just grab that hood and rip it off all the time. And just as we had gotten this little one, he would rip her hood off, like off of her seat, and it was just, oh, I would go crazy on that kid for doing that over and over. So I wish it had something that secured it a bit more, because obviously most of the time you want the hood on there. So it's not like you need to have it be super convenient and easy to take off and take on. I don't understand it. Something that Bugaboo actually like advertises as well, I noticed on their website, is that the stroller is not as wide as you think it is, and that's very true. I have many times thought, oh, I'm not gonna get through like this doorway, or if it's a gate outside, whatever it might be, I think that the stroller is not gonna be able to go through, or that it's not gonna fit next to another stroller on the bus or something, but it always does. It's not as wide as you think, even when you have two full-size seats next to each other. It goes through any like standard-sized doorway, and I think most double strollers do nowadays. But either way, it's just, I think it's a pro that's like worth bringing up, especially for someone who might have had a single stroller before and now is having another kid, and maybe might be worried about just being able to fit the stroller through different places and in different places. It's not as big as it looks. Oh, bless you, sweetie. I can see that you're so tired. The baby is now asleep in her crib. Fingers crossed that she stays that way until I've finished filming this video. Another little pet peeve of mine is that the storage bag at the bottom of the stroller, it's kind of flimsy-ish, not the entire bag, but I guess you would say the back part. When you're trying to put something in that bag, it kind of like tips over. I'm gonna try and film a clip for you so you can see. It's just pretty inconvenient, especially if you're holding a baby in one arm and you're trying to just store something under the stroller with the other. Just having to fight with the bag, it's kind of silly. And again, I just wonder why they made the bag that way. It just seems like such an easy thing to not do, I guess. The next pro is, let us see. Oh, that the stroller doesn't tip over very easily. This is a very important thing, and I think that it should be obvious and just a thing with all strollers, but I can say from experience that it's not. I've had strollers in the past that just pretty much tipped over my kids when they were trying to just do anything, trying to take something out of the under storage bin, or I don't know, it's just crazy. But this stroller is very sturdy. Once it has almost tipped over, and that's when my 2.5-year-old grabbed onto the handle and just lifted his feet up. So he was basically putting all of his weight on the handle, and the stroller wasn't packed very like heavily, so it was very light, and it did almost tip over, but I was holding on to it, so it was fine. But that is the only time that that's happened, and I feel very secure that the stroller is going to stay in place and not tip over, which again should just be a thing with all strollers. The next pro that I've written down is something that I mentioned before, and that is just the versatility of the stroller. It's just so easy to switch up how you use it depending on what you need it for. So if I need, or if I want to go on a long walk with both the smaller kids that I have, I will obviously put both of the seats on there. If it's like a shorter walk or just the school and preschool run, I will keep the carry cot thing for the baby, and then the bag storage, because that's what I use on a daily basis, and the little like standing thing that Theo, my 2.5-year-olds, love to stand and sit on. That's also a good thing that it actually has a seat, because he loves just sitting there and just looking around, and he's so content on there, which is awesome. So yeah, the versatility I maybe should have brought up as the first pro, because it's really the big good thing, I guess you could say, about the stroller. I think that's the reason that most people get this stroller, I guess I should say. I have now come to the last drawback of the stroller that I've written down, and this might not be something that affects everyone. It only affects the people who have the standing board or sitting board, or I don't know what to call it, but the thing that we put at the back of the stroller that Theo can sit on, that I just talked about. It's almost impossible to get off. You have to push like a couple of buttons and pull it at the same time on both sides, and it's very, at least ours is very just stuck on there, so you need to have a lot of strength, and you need to pull, like I said, at the same time on both sides, otherwise it won't come off. And so I pretty much never take it off, because it's just so inconvenient and annoying. This works out perfectly, because I have one pro left for the stroller, and I mean, I could say lots of good things about this stroller. Obviously, if you couldn't tell, I love the stroller. I'm very happy that I spent the kind of steep price to get it, but these are things that I have just kind of noticed throughout using it for the past few months, and that I've written down. So yeah, I'm not saying that the things that I've listed here are the only good things about the stroller that I've found. Just want to put that out there. The last thing is that the handle, or handlebar handle, it's very adjustable height-wise, which is good for our family, because I am 158 centimeters tall and my husband is 188 centimeters tall, so there's quite a difference between the two of us, and it's very easy to switch the handle for your height, and it has a very like big range as well. So that's something that we actually looked into before we bought the stroller, because even though I use it most of the time, because I'm the one who's at home with the kids, my husband obviously wants to be able to use it and be comfortable too. So that's another good thing about the stroller. And that's pretty much all that I had written down. I feel like I already kind of told you my consensus, which is that I love the stroller and I'm very happy that I bought it. And I don't know, it's just, I think it's a good stroller, but it is quite expensive. And I think a few years ago when I was studying and stuff, I didn't even like consider it. I looked at it and I really liked the stroller from what I saw, but it was just not even an option that I would ever get it. But then I saved up and I'm happy that I did. We actually got a bit of a discount on it as well, which is always nice, but it was still much more expensive than our other strollers and much more expensive than a lot of other double strollers. So I think if price is your main concern, then this is not the stroller for you. But if like versatility and convenience yeah, just the possibilities that the stroller has is important, then you should definitely look into this stroller. That is it for my review. If you have questions or comments, you can't actually put them in the comments because I don't have any. YouTube has disabled them because YouTube. But right after posting this video, I'm gonna post a community post. So put any questions or whatever you have there. And thank you for watching. Please like the video if you liked it and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more of us. And we will see you again on Friday with a vlog from this week. Hej då!